That's Kind of Talk, back with another match preview. It's for a Tuesday night game against Yeovil. 7:45 kickoff. Looking forward to kicking on now in the league after beating Stockport at the weekend. Before I go on, I did want to say that Yeovil contacted me and Tom and asked us if we would answer a few questions to be on at the start of the stream. So if you have the time, turn the stream on as soon as it comes on, and you might see us answering a few questions regarding Notts and how the season's gone so far. So without further ado, I'll hand over to Tom for players to watch and stats.
So the game against Yeovil, looking at the stats, Notts currently sit in 7th and Yeovil sit in 19th. Now, there was a huge gap between the teams. Yeovil has played one game more, but now in the space of 12 league places, it's now just 6 points that separate the two teams. So the league is closing up, but that could actually be put down to the fact that some teams are just playing less and some teams are playing more. Some teams in the division that have only played 11 games and we're not far off February. So yeah, it's becoming increasingly difficult to actually think if the season's gonna go on. And obviously Yeovil had their match postponed against Maidenhead at the weekend. So fingers crossed, at any point, 1 minute after we upload this, the game could be off. So we're just really hoping it's not. Yeovil have 3 wins in a row, including a very impressive 2-1 win against Torquay. That is probably going to be my result of the month when we do our awards for January. I can't really see a result beating that. A team playing like Yeovil and then they go and spring a result like that. Notts have 3 wins in 5 in all competitions, including a very good win against Stockport in the FA Trophy, a late Carl Walton goal getting us that victory. Now, the last game that Notts actually played against Yeovil was a cracker. It was finished with 9 men in the FA Trophy. Notts were literally hanging on, scrapping, 2-0 up and then conceded. But that was the catalyst, I think, for last season when the players really believed how good that they were as a team. And I think that's got to be one of the games of last season as well. Not many fans would have gone down to that, I don't think, Yeovil in the FA Trophy, but turned out to be one of the better performances, players throwing themselves in line of the ball, just doing absolutely everything they could to get Notts the next round, and it resulted in a fantastic cup run. Now, looking at head-to-head, we see Yeovil as a bit of a bogey team. Bit of a strange number here, but in the last 16 games against Yeovil, Notts have only won 4. Obviously, if you take the last victory off, it's just 3 and 15, so we're winning about 20% of our games with Yeovil. It's not at all a team we do well against, but I hope we've turned the corner now and we're now clear favourites for this to beat a team like Yeovil the way they have been playing. League position says that, but again, it's a national league and it can be really dangerous. So 3 players to watch out for in this game. There is obviously Reid. So Ruben Reid is over 100 goals in the Football League in both League 1 and League 2. He's very popular with Plymouth. That's where a lot of people know him from. He's been around the Football League, but over 100 goals, that is a really, really good signing for Yeovil. It's got to be one of the signs of the season if it comes off, and he's going to be so dangerous with his experience. He's one of these players that I think we no matter how good Brindley and Kelly Evans have been, if they do start at fullback, it's going to be difficult for them to contain a player of his quality. And he's got a point to prove at Yeovil, having dropped down into this division. Next is obviously Rhys Murphy. Don't need to say much about him. National League goal scorer, isn't he? 17 last season, only 2 this season, but those goals could come at any moment. And as Yeovil are picking up form, those goals, I feel like they might be coming in the next couple of games. And finally, Emmanuel Sanupe, another player that's dropped down. Now, I really liked him at Kidderminster, and actually liked him at Stevenage as well. And he's come down, and he's another one with a bit of a point to prove. He's a bit inconsistent in his time in the Football League. But there's 3 players there that if you look at Murphy, Sanupe and Reid, Notts have got a lot to deal with in defensive aspects of this game.
Moving on to team news now. We've obviously got McCrory, who's going to be out for at least another month or so, I'd say, after his surgery. Cal Roberts, I think you'll be looking to see him back in the fold after a week or 2. Hopefully sooner. It'd be great if it was sooner. We've also got Ben Turner, who'll be starting the suspension as it's a league game now. So yeah, that takes me on really to the team selection. So we've got to get this spot on, I think, because Yeovil have really turned a corner, in terms of form. They've just beat Torquay not long back. So they're going to be hungry for more points, and they love, gaining points against us. So we've got to get team selection spot on, I think, Ardley has. So in goal, Sam Slocum picks himself. Right back, Richard Brinley, absolutely solid. He's been firm in the last few games I've seen him. No real way of mistakes in him. And, he's good both attacking and defensive, so that's everything you want from your fullback. Left side, left back, gone for Dion Kelly-Evans. I don't think you can really change it. He's been fantastic at the left back position this year. And, he just gets stuck in every game. And this is going to be one of them games where he's going to have to really get stuck in, because Yeovil are a physical side. Centre-back pairing, I've gone for Lacey and Rawlinson, purely for the fact that I think that is going to be the strongest centre-back partnership we have at the minute. I think Graham is a great player, but I think Ardley's going to probably use him in the games where players are getting tired, and he's going to come into the fold a little bit more later on in the season. So, yeah, that's the back four. Gone for a 4-2-3-1. So the two defensive midfielders in the front of the back four, Reeves and Doyle, played every league game. Can't leave them out. They've been fantastic. Say no more really on that regard. Now, three players in front of them. So you got the attacking mid and then the wingers either side. In the middle, Ruben Rodriguez. I thought he played really well against Stockport. He was, for me, he was probably man of the match if it wasn't Knowles. He was really creative, got the assist for the goal, and he's just making things happen, So it was, quite a good player in that game, and I hope he can continue that on through the season. Either side of on the left hand side, so like the left winger, I've gone for Eli Sam. I think he needs to prove himself a little bit more now, because he's had a couple of games where he's been a little bit stale. So he just needs to dust himself off, maybe get a goal, get an assist, just be a bit more creative and make some more chances for the team. On the other wing, on the right wing, I've gone for Miller. I think it'd be good to see him in that winger position, because he looked really good against Stockport, left fullback. He did a good job, looked composed, so it'd be good to see what he's got sort of a bit further up the pitch, and he looked really promising. So I hope we can bring that in. Obviously, the only reason I've left NZO out is because of that little head injury. There's not been any news coming out of that, because it's only been a couple of days. I've sort of just left him out because I feel he could be left out. I hope he isn't, and I hope he's in the fold, but we'll see what happens in the days to come. And up top, it has to be Kyle Wharton, doesn't it? That goal, I know it got a heavy deflection, but leading up to the goal, his work that led to the heavy deflection and goal, the hard work was paying off for him in that one, so credit to himself. I think we won't be surprised to see Ini Effiong come on, but I really don't know if we'll see him start. Could be wrong, but I do feel like Wharton is probably the main player in the squad at the moment, so that is that. So my prediction for this game is it's going to be cagey. It always is against Yeovil, isn't it? It's always a really tight, rugged fight against Yeovil. So I am going to go for a win, surprisingly, to Notts, 1-0. I think it's going to be so tight, and we're just going to nick that one goal. But yeah, I'm hoping to see a good performance and build on the Stockport game from the weekend. So I'll hand over to Tom for his prediction.
Now, what do I see as a prediction? I think it's so hard to predict at the minute, because teams are just not playing at the minute, are they? I mean, Notts managed to get a game on Saturday, Yeovil didn't. But I think Notts were so good with the fringe players Saturday. There'll be players that didn't play or didn't play much that are going to be thinking, well, I need to play for my place now, because actually you've got the likes of Wolf that came in and Knowles that came in, and they're suddenly threatening people's positions in the team. So it's going to be another game where I think Notts are going to put in a very good performance. I think Notts are going to sneak this 1-0, and I think we might see, I'm hoping to see Jimmy Knowles get on the score sheet. So Jimmy Knowles, 1-0. I think a clean sheet would be fantastic. I think we look really good against Stockport, but something has to give with these set-piece goals. I mean, I don't know if they're working on them or not, but give a team like Yeovil a chance at a set-piece, they're going to punish us. So I'm going 1-0, Jimmy Knowles. Would love to know what you think the score will be, what your lineup would be. Would you include any of the players that played very well against Stockport, your Wolves, your Grahams, and your Knowles, and leave them in the comment section below.